Hello?
Ethan, we got some real problems, boy.
Oh yeah, problem? What's that?
You're lazy! You lazy piece of shit!
No upload in 2 weeks, only shorts. Get a hold of yourself. I got a video already set up for you. All you have to do is record it. You better get on it right now. Welcome to Basketball Intuition. I'm your host, Ethan Simon. It's been a couple days since we made a full video. You'll probably see me on your shorts, but today we're going to be talking about the San Antonio Spurs. There haven't been that many teams that I've been excited to watch on League Pass all the time, but the Spurs are definitely at the top of my League Pass teams right now. Usually the comment of the day is the first segment of the day, but we're going to wait till the very end for the comment of the day today, so stick around. And the first thing I want to touch on is going to be the Spurs youth.
What did he say?
As of the time of this recording, the Spurs are 18-18 and the 9th seed in the Western Conference. They're the third youngest team in the NBA with an average age of 24, and if you take Chris Paul out, they are the youngest team in the NBA. But one of the downsides of what comes with the use is ugly miscues and ugly turnovers. Of course, with time they'll get better, but as of today, they're 16th with 14.7 turnovers per game, which isn't bad compared to OKC's 12 per game. And the highlight of their youth is Victor Wembanyama. He's a 20-year-old kid averaging the most blocks in the last 25 years with 4 a game. Also, through a career so far, he has the highest average stocks in NBA history, barely ahead of Hakeem Olajuwon. So far through the season, Wemby's averaging 26 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 assists. One of my favorite underrated parts about Wembanyama in the Spurs is the fact that they use guards to screen for Wembanyama a lot. The guard will come set the screen, Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, maybe Chris Paul sometimes. Then the guard will roll to the basket and Wembanyama will come off the screen, giving Wemby the option of whether he wants to shoot the ball or pass the ball. Now let's get to some of the other pieces on the team. Before we get to the pieces themselves, I want to talk about a cool little stat I found yesterday, and that's Chris Paul, Harrison Barnes, Julian Champagny, Victor Wembanyama, and Stephon Castle have the 6th highest plus-minus lineup in the NBA, meaning that when these 5 are on the court, they're extremely impactful. Let's start with the point god, Chris Paul. No matter what's going on and what situation he's in, Chris Paul is always gonna Chris Paul. He's shooting 50% from mid-range and 35% from 3 on a career-high 4.8 attempts per game. Through the season, he's averaging 9.5 points per game, 8.5 assists, 4 rebounds, and a steal and a half. On the downside, he is getting older and slower, and he has the worst field goal percentage of his career at 41%, and he's also shooting the lowest amount of field goals at 7.7. Now to the next guy I want to touch on, Stephon Castle. I'm not going to talk about him too long because I made a rookie video and I touched on him for a couple minutes. So if you want to hear me talk about Stephon Castle more, just go ahead and check that video out. This kid's got a quick burst to the basket with great defense. He's a super athlete. He's averaging 11 points, 2.5 rebounds with 4 assists and a steal. He's not the most efficient at 39% and 26% from 3, but I believe that in time it'll come around. A big part about guarding the Spurs team is their athleticism at the guard and wing position. After a shot, you have to box out bouncy guards like Devin Vassell and Stephon Castle, or they will get offensive rebounds and put back dunks. And this team also gets to the rim a lot with the 9th most field goal attempts in the restricted area. Let's touch on Devin Vassell real quick. He's a very comfortable shooter in the mid-range and on the move. He's got a long wingspan with a burst of speed along with a quick handle. He can get tough buckets at the rim. He's shooting 66% at the rim and 38% from mid-range. His stats this season is 15, 3 and 3 on 44% from the field, 35.5% from 3, which is down from last year statistically, but he's taking less shots with more mouths to feed. 2 more people I want to touch up on real quick. That's going to be Julian Champagny, 38% from 3, 7 attempts, 12 points per game, 43% from the field. He looks great. Not a lot of people talk about him. He's not a very well-known name. And the very last one of my favorite pieces on the team, Jeremy Sochan. His versatility is insane. He can pretty much guard 1 through 5. He's a point forward that averages 13 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. He's shooting 69% at the rim. He finishes very efficiently. He's a good offensive rebounder, getting 2.7 offensive rebounds per game. He doesn't make a lot and his percentage isn't very good, but he can hit an open 3 if you dare him. And now just a couple things that I have on the side that I want to talk about that I don't really have labeled or anything. But the first one is going to be that Wembanyama is going to need some more muscle. There are too many situations at that height where he ends up taking fadeaway jumpers or step back jumpers. A lot of the time when he gets that switch onto a smaller guard, it needs to just go straight to punish mode, but we're not quite there yet. I believe in time this won't be anything to worry about because he's already putting on plenty of weight. He does go at guard sometimes, but it's not as efficient as it could be if he had more weight on him. He also needs to clean up the turnovers a little bit. Against the Nuggets, they doubled him a lot in the third quarter, and he had like 3 or 4 straight turnovers, it felt like. Something else that Wemby helps his team out though is making his team first in blocks with 7 a game. Sometimes with teams that block a lot of shots, they foul a lot, but this team does not foul that much. They're second to last in fouls behind the Celtics at 16 a game compared to the Raptors, who are fouling 22 times a game. And this also leads to them having the #1 defensive rate in the NBA per cleaning the glass. And the very last thing that I want to just say real quick is the Jeremy Sohan thing about how he grabs offensive rebounds. Wemby grabs offensive rebounds too. This team is 12th in offensive rebounding at 11 per game, which isn't bad. I don't have anything else about the Spurs. That's all I had to talk about the Spurs. Let's get to the comment of the day real quick before we wrap everything up. If you're not aware, the comment of the day typically is the first segment of the day, but I just moved it back today because I didn't really have one. To be featured as the comment of the day, all you have to do is comment your hot take or really just anything about basketball, and my favorite comment from the previous video is the first or last segment of the next video. So this comment of the day wasn't from my last video that I put up because there was no comments that were like the take of the day, but this one's going to be from Draco. And this is from a short that I posted. He says, "The Suns is like when you're playing with Legos and you think you did it correctly, but then you mess one thing up and have to restart." This is the most accurate analogy of the Suns I have ever seen. The 3 together, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, the idea is great, but the outside pieces is really what they're missing. When you're asking Royce O'Neal and the rookie Ryan Dunn to save your defense, it's kind of a problem. And also Yusuf Nurkic. He makes me so mad. There's like, I don't have a percentage on it or anything. I haven't checked the numbers, but when you are watching the Suns, it feels like Nurkic gets more ISO possessions than like Bradley Beal at this point. Like total ISO possessions at all. Like it's crazy. But that's everything for the video today. Let's peep the sub count real quick. We're at 659 subs. We're going to try and hit 700 by the end of the month, end of the week. I don't know. We're just trying to hit 700 at some point. If you want to be a part of that, go ahead, hit the like, hit the sub for more videos. Like I said earlier, comment down below your take of the day or what you think about the Spurs. And I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Peace out.